Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. Bitcoin getting a bounce. 67.4. Can we get to 69? Let's find out on the show today. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome. Welcome, everybody, one and all. Anyone that's interested in trading crypto. My name's Sam Price. We're going to break down the markets, have some fun today. Get my tie situated there. There we go. All right. Anyway, let's jump on into the charts. Let's have some fun. If you're into trading like I am, if you're obsessed with the charts, if you're obsessed with drawing shapes and looking at it in, all sorts of different ideas and indicators, then you came to the right place. Welcome. My name's Sam Price, and I love trading, and I'm here to go over kind of what I do and what I see, and if we could possibly make some gains today too as well. So here we go. We're going to start today with Bitcoin. That's what I do every single day. We're also going to look at the NASDAQ. We're going to look at gold. We're going to look at silver. We're going to look at the S&P. We're going to look at it all, and whatever you ask for too inside of the chat. If there's something that you want to know, if there's something that you're looking at, let us know. Let us break it down for you. Bring up a coin you've been researching. Maybe there's a stock that you're looking at. Teach us. We don't know everything. We're here to learn too from each and every one of you. So feel free to become part of the show. Feel free to join us and have fun. All right. What's going on here? Here we go. I usually am at a stand-up desk. However, today I've had surgery on my left Achilles. I am sitting with a kind of like a makeshift cast on. My foot is just stuck kind of in a weird position, and I'm doing what I can to get by, but it is what it is. And yeah. And so I am sitting down here, and I'm figuring all these different ways to attempt to make it interesting here for my back. Wow, Luna C. Interesting. And yeah, and I see the NQ bouncing. I think everyone's a little too bearish right now. Money's coming into this market. I'm not overstressed about it. And look what they just did to Bitcoin. They just dumped it, pumped it. And that's why I said I wouldn't trust this. I even told my students I didn't put out a trade because, I would have put out a short. It would have been in the money for a second, and they would have ripped it back up. Then they would have bounced it back to the upside. You see what I'm saying? So to me, like they could take that price action and do whatever they want with it. I'm going to have to try to sit in the seat for like 10 minutes before the show to try to figure out like what I can do. I think I got something that's working here. So look, this is a signal that I've traded before. The 1 minute touching the 21 and the 200 at the same time. I've seen price action spark from this. What I look for is low stochastic in conjunction with this idea, lack of bearish momentum. What does that mean when I say lack of bearish momentum? When I'm talking about the MACD, and I'm talking about how the blue and the red combine, and then you also see this kind of wave in the middle. Look how small the wave is. It's red, but it's small, showing signs, and it turned white pretty quick, like right there. So, and with the stochastics curving up, touching the 200, this tells me that there could be a move to the upside. I grabbed this, and it tells me the measured move. It says, hey, you're going to likely go to about 67,800. I got to get like under the mic here. 800 for Bitcoin. And that way, I can pull it away that way if I need to. So this is a little bit of a move here. And look, they just snatched the shorts, and look what they made. They made an inverted head and shoulders, shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline. You draw this and you move this up, and that's where this is likely going to go. So now you got two indicators teaching you and telling you that you like kind of the high 67s. Doesn't mean you're going there for sure, but you got to start listening, right? So when you first start trading, you don't listen to this. You think it's noise. You're like, it's all whatevers. But once you start trading, you realize, no, this is real. This stuff works more than it doesn't. And the more I pay attention to it, the better I'm going to be, right? And I think that's just kind of what it comes down to, okay? Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. We love you. We appreciate you. I'm Yacht News and Trading on Week of Pionex. Is there help out there for me? Yeah, it's very simple. I would just, if you're in my trading group, I have a leverage trading. Go here to content directory here. And right here, leverage class from today. Just watch this. It'll teach you everything you need to know. And I live trade here on Weeks. I'll live trade today on Weeks, or I'll go over it right now as well. One thing on Weeks, we have an AI team, an AI bot, and you hit the leaderboard. I'll send you this link here, but it would mean the world to us if we got this like up to 100. All right, we get this to 100, I'll hook somebody up. How's that? Like, you know what I mean? I'll hook you guys up with $100. So get this like up to 100, even on the show. You get this to 100, so you got to hit the link today. Click this link. Let's get this to 100 people. Everyone on the show pours in. I'm going to pick somebody and hook you up. All right, so hit this. Let's see this number. I want to see if one person can do it. Come on. This should go to 39 while I'm sitting here, right? You got the link. All you got to do, you go to leaderboard. It's kind of like a thing, right? And then you got to even scroll down a little bit and make it, it's a bit of a task. I get it. But there you go. We would appreciate it if you did that. That's our team in the AI Wars there on the Week's Labs. Still in the competition, still hanging out. Okay. Maybe make a cup and handle all the 1 minute. Possibly. You never know. There's a chance. We got some cool news for you today, too. We're going to go over some interesting news, but not just yet. First, we're going to finish Bitcoin. I see a move for the NASDAQ. I see a W. I see the NASDAQ pouring back to the top of the channel. I see this as a great accumulation point before they start pouring money into the market until March and April. And then May, I see a big move here. Come April into May. We're going to be very tight, and the market's going to have to make a decision. It's my prediction for you months ahead of time. I'm already kind of showing you what the NASDAQ is likely going to do. Let's take a look at the S&P futures. I've been spot on with these type of predictions. Again, I'm not saying I'm going to be right every time, but I've been pretty spot on, especially when it doesn't look right. I told you a bounce was coming here off this bullish divergence. You can see I have it drawn. If you watch my macro bullish divergence video, and there is the bounce of the S&P, absolutely beautifully. It's got to go down to come up. It can't keep going up, right? So you need the balance. And then I see tightness, and again, this tells me March 17th, 18th, somewhere in there, and then into April, we get a pump, and then the pump lasts possibly till, let's see, it looks like it could last until like mid-April. And then, I don't know, sell in May may be a thing again, right? But I see a leg like this coming for the NASDAQ. I see something like that. That may have been the jagged dagger there. I almost, yeah, something like that. But I see it breaking out and making a nice move to the upside over time. Maybe even something like this. It breaks out, it retests, and it rips. It does that a lot. And look at these dagger moves, attempting to stop hunt people. Let's take a look at gold for a split second because I just want to see how gold is holding up. It was dipping. Nice pump for gold. So gold gets a nice, beautiful move back up to 5,000. And this is what I'm talking about. So I'm not down in my gold trade anymore. It was bad, man. Still, we still got a fighting chance. I don't see if the dollar stops and this thing starts moving. I don't see how gold doesn't continue. Shoulder, head, right shoulder here to the upside for Bitcoin. $5,500 an ounce for gold. And I see it somewhere by March 2nd or 3rd. Again, I see an explosive April, folks. I see an explosive April. It's telling me this is the worst time to leave the market. I see good volatility and good opportunity. Remember, I'm trading gold on BTCC, the oldest exchange in the game that's never had an issue. BTCC. All right. And my gold position was down I think about 25. Now it's only down 1,300. It's a bigger position. I'm going for the gusto. But I was looking for this to be the flag here. And they stop hunted, but I'm luckily that I have my stops down here, so they went after them. But I luckily got to stay in the trade. I'll show you in a second. So I ain't BSing. I'm still in the trade. My open price was about 560 on gold. So I was here looking for the big breakout. I didn't expect that dip. I figured I read the overall market well. I could see where we were going. Understand, So here's my trade here for gold. Right? and I'm going to make 10K. We go to 6,300. You know, I might even double up if we get above here and retest. You know, and maybe maybe I make 4K, 3K, maybe whatever I do. Maybe when we hit here, I take profits, but that'll be like, it'll kind of show me, right? 4,500, 5 grand, but I'm looking to make 5 to 10 grand off gold. If I can, I'll take 12, right? And then, you know, it got close. I was down 2,500, but this is a bigger trade, you see? So there's some drawdown right now, but no stress. And imagine, if I make 10 grand off $2,000, see, this is the key. 5X in your money in about a month and a half. And you keep doing this over and over again. You do this 5 to 10 times a year, you know, you start making yourself a salary, right? And it's not, and you don't have to day trade. It's about sitting in a position, watching where you believe it'll go, and just waiting for it to go there. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes patience. So I am the king of long-term trading. That's the one thing I've done, you know what I mean? I just started leverage trading and learning how to really day trade the last, I'd say 4 years, and I've been trading 20 years, you know? The channel's been around since 2019. When it started, I was not a leverage trader. I did not leverage trade. I thought, you know, I didn't have a handle over my emotions. I couldn't handle it. I'll be honest with everybody. It just wasn't something I was really good at. And my friend told me, hey, man, you got to start small, little by little, or you're not going to make it. And, you know, I didn't understand that. I'm an all or nothing guy. I wanted it all. Until I realized it was like a video game that I had to learn. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Until I realized it was a video game that I had to learn, it was like, okay, you know. Yeah. $6,380, man. You know, so that's the target I'm looking at for BTC. And again, look at this. I'm giving you I'm showing you inside the world of me. I don't have to show these wins or losses. I can keep them to myself, right? There's no, you know what I mean? I don't have to let you know every single thing about my life. And yes, I do benefit. People might use the exchange, but I like the exchange. And again, I asked for specific things to be done. You can now move your take profit, your stop loss up and down. It's perfect. It's just like Pionex, man. It's clean. So the user experience is amazing here. And again, I'm not afraid to show a loss. 1,200 is nothing. Even if I lost $2,000, I'd be fine, right? I got $35,000 in the account. It's not a big deal. And so, hey, and if I turn that 10 grand, that's going to be a big move. That's a 30% win on the actual account too. So, and you're only using, this is what I try to teach people too. The key to leverage trading is, look, I got 37,000 in the account, right? Technically, right? With, unless it's 35 used, whatever, 35, whatever, even if it is 36, 35.9. The point is, I'm not using 10x leverage with 3,500 for a $350,000 trade. You see? I'm long into 20x with 2,000, turning it into a $40,000 trade, right? Yeah, you know what I mean? So the point is, and then again, if I still hit this trade, and even if I hit half the wins, which is most likely 5,000, I usually sell after 5. It's very, you know, it's getting harder. It's hard for me to hold to the 12,000. I usually get out when I'm up like 5. Because it's a good win. It's a guaranteed win. I know it's there for sure. And, you know, that's something I noticed that I do. It's a habit of mine. But, again, it is what it is. So the point is, you know, whatever happens on the trade, if I do hit the 5,000, I know that's what I'm projecting at least to win. That's 1/7 of 35, right? So to me, that's huge. It's more than 10% growth on the account. 10% would be 3,500, right? $3,600. So bang, right? So we're looking for gold, baby, gold, right? So here, and again, that's a free idea there. You do whatever you want with this. Again, do not mimic me. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do on this show should be taken as financial advice. I'm just a trader. This is the reality show of my life. I'm willing to show you my life every day. All right, and kind of what I'm getting into, what I'm looking at, and what's going on. So, yeah, we're looking for this to get a bit of a bounce, and we're looking for this to win, baby. And maybe I lose. And if I lose, I lose. So be it. Actually, I'm risking $3,000. It should be less than that, but we'll see. Oh, yeah, because they're doing cross on me? Is that why? Yeah, wow, yeah, see? Interesting. I'd like to move my stop up to like 2, but we'll see. Once we get above this key area, I will move the risk up. But anyway, there we go. And that's a 4-1 anyway, right? 33 to 224, right? And if you lose the 33, so be it, right? It's one of many accounts. It's not my whole, But again, I wouldn't want to, right? So that's gold trading on BTCC. Very simple. What I do is I take out the long tool before every trade, and I set up the trade. And I see, okay, where do I want to get in? Where do I want to get out? And I look at the key areas that matter. And I make sure that there's a wick or something in that, previous support is resistance like this, Yeah, can I use the moving average? Of course, they're tight. You could change these. I change these back to my regulars, like my 21. You just flip this to 21. You can make the smoothing length back to 21. Style is white because the 21 is white. And then you rip this one back to yellow. Make it extra thick again. Inputs, flip it to 200. Right? SMA is what we're doing. We're not doing anything else. Smooth moving line, yeah. And so you see the 21 above the 200. That's what we're looking for. You go back to the 1 hour. You want to see it tight again. You want to see the 200, the 21. You want to see them all nice and neat. And you see that, right? And that's usually after a low. You come back up, higher lows. This consolidation is distribution. They sold it, they bought it. 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 Boom. A move is coming. You see? And that's why I love technical analysis. It shows you when a move is coming. When you see you're getting that tight, then you know something is brewing. So that's kind of, what I mean? That's kind of where and so I just wanted to kind of clear the air there with gold, BTCC, where we're at. So look, the trade did do something, and then it spiked. It almost hit the target. That's crazy, right? Hold up. I've been fat fingering lately. I think it's the way I've been sitting. Just kind of hitting it. Funny, we were looking last night for this to break to the upside. Remember last night I said, look for this falling wedge to break up the length of the pole. You basically got that last night. Rejection by the 200. I talked about getting in like right here with a stop below the wick. That played out. It wasn't the best. Yeah. So we're looking for this nice bounce here back to the upside. A bit of a double bouton, right? And that would send us back up to there. 69,250. Again, we're in a trap, like tight zone to trade. Once Bitcoin gets in a tighter zone to trade, like here we were in a bigger zone. What am I talking about? Well, you had a move down that you could short. You had a beautiful move up, we could long. All right, then we had a smaller move. Then we had this nice flag that I did call out. We had a nice little long, and then, but now you can see how each move was just jink, 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 jink. And we had this move up, move down, and now it's getting even tighter. So like, and again, I'm a 3-to-1 guy, right? So you just got to look at it logically. Like you get in at the bottom here. You've got low risk. And I did call this bottom, if you remember, on the 4-hour time frame. I even have a short that I could play and show everyone that I gave you the exact call inside the Discord. But I said, we're going to long this candle right here with a stop below the wick. Even that wick you could take if you know what I like. And so there's your like 5-to-2 risk reward ratio. But once we start getting into here, and now you have to kind of, you can see the range. Yeah, it's too, you're starting to get into less and less. Yeah, I guess there's a 3-to-1 technically there. My point is there's less volume. It's tighter. The odds are likely you're going to get stopped. And then the risk reward is less. So for me, like I can, I understand why I'm like the last couple of days, I'm just like, eh. Because like I know when the hot trade is coming and I know when to just chill. And to me, that's just like, you know what I mean? So we're looking for a possible bounce today. Anyway, let's get back into the top-down analysis, which I've been delaying. I've been having fun, though, today. One thing I want to teach you about or just talk about is they call me Sammy Cup and Handy. That is a Sammy Cup and Handy, Samuel Cup and Handle, if we keep it, And again, I don't know who came up with this. I don't know where I started it. Someone called it to me one day or said it on the stream or I said it. I don't know how it happened. I don't remember. I wish I did. And it was like it was like something, it was in like 2001. This was like a long time ago. Sammy Cup and Handy to the upside. All the way to the upside, baby. The stream used to be just so crazy, man. It still is crazy. It's still hot. But I remember when I first came out swinging, I was lit. Yeah, I'm like an old man now, like kind of like going through the motions of the stream. But we still keep it amazing. But there was something about those beginning days, baby. The fire in his eyes, you know what I mean? When you just, right out of the minor leagues. The kid was swinging, baby. The kid was swinging. So look, I mean, we got a beautiful gap of the VRVP. We've got what is looking to me like an Adam and Eve double bottom, right? We're fighting for higher lows, 3 higher lows in a row now. Just, begging, but could we get tight and easily dump? We could. You got to assume, this is the thing about downtrends. How do you trade them? How can you be successful in a downtrend? Okay, let's talk about it. Because this is like the number one thing I wanted to talk about today. I had written down, I had kind of in my mind, I was like, I want to show them how we understand what's happening. Okay. So in a downtrend, you assume, so like price is doing something, it takes a dump. Then it starts hanging out, it takes a dump. Then it hangs out, takes a dump. And then eventually it does like an Adam and Eve, but might actually still kind of look like a flag, you know what I mean? But it makes it gets above a key 200 moving average, and then it goes through the gap in the VRVP, right? We can like move this over for, Anyway, I wish I had done that cleaner over here. So price dumps in here, right? There's a gap in the VRVP. You could get through the gap, right? That's what we're looking for here. Can you get through this gap? Okay, so... And how do you understand it? Well, you'll get above the 15-minute 200. I'm telling you right now, the 21 will come above the 200. You'll make some type of flag and even some type of consolidation and inverted head and shoulders, something, and you'll break out. And eventually you'll hit the 1 hour 200, and you'll get rejected by the 1 hour 200 moving average. At this point, there could be a bigger structure on the 4 hour that's also playing out. The daily is also going to have a tweezer bottom that played out. So you're going to have a green candle next to a red one. This is how it's all going to happen. I'm telling you, this is the structure to reversal. Then eventually the 1 hour will get above the 200 and it'll flag out. And that to me that's the trade we made. I'll show you that trade we made a while back right here. Like this is it here. See that? The 4 hours above the 200, touching the 21. That's a trade of trades. Like that was one of my most favorite calls. When you wait for this, I mean, that's perfect. That's when you go I go all in with a stop below the wick. Because that's what I do on the 1 minute every day, but on the 4 hour time frame. All right. So bang, right? And then look what happens when we get this. So we're getting closer to this moment. Once it happens, we're going to be able to capitalize. And there's going to be a move, right? And then you can see the gaps in the VRVP. Bitcoin will flow through the gaps. It'll head to liquidity, right? So bear with me now. So here we are now, okay? So in a downtrend, you assume you're going to keep dumping. So we assume that every bear flag like this is going to dump on us. We assume that, okay? We assume it, but we wait for the traps that we set for bullishness. Like I have the bullish traps. I know what to look for, and this is all I do my whole life, every single day, without a day off for years, is the same exact. I train my subconscious brain to take in this information without fail, no matter when I'm sick, tired, doesn't matter what's going on in my mind. Action. See, people think that you got to get motivated and then you take action. But motivation follows action. You just take action. Every day I wake up, I do the same thing. Every day you wake up, you do the same thing. If you're stuck in what you're doing and you're disciplined in what you're doing, you'll nail it. And AI is great, right? But AI can teach you a lot. AI could go through all I'm saying and transpose it for you. But it can never really give you the look in my eyes that I'm giving you right now. It can never give you the passion of a human being that lost his mom on Thanksgiving and never stopped. It can never give you the passion of a human being that's down and out with a hurt Achilles and still grinding, right? So just remember that no matter what's going on in your life, that you're in control, you're making reality at every single moment in time, and you're the one that can turn it around in every single moment in time. All right, you're more in control than you've ever realized. You've always been. All right. Someone was just trying to tell you that you weren't. And we all knew that wasn't true. Look at the 5-minute inverted head and shoulder that just played out here. And just amazing when you see, remember we talked about the 1 minute being tight on the 21 and the 2. And then look, I mean, my signal did play out. I missed it yapping with you guys. But there's my signal that I trade every day there. The 1 minute was above the 200 inside the flag. We had a bit of a double bottom. And you had a beautiful move to the upside for Bitcoin. Amazing, right? And this is like, we should see the dollar starting to go down, gold going up, Bitcoin going up, right? Bang, 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 right? And so there you have it. There's the signal right there. 21 above the 200. Stop loss below the low. That thing is climbing too. Dang, I missed it yapping. It's okay. Should have just got to trading, Sam. It's all right. We got the move, man. The model played out again. And so if you learn my strategy and hang out with me every day, you're going to just see what I do all the time. Kind of stinks that I missed it because we got to win. After yesterday's 2 losses, I got to show everyone that we win all the time. The model, man. The way it is supposed to be, man. And what a beautiful pump for Bitcoin. And then they're smashing the shorts, see? Dang, I was just about to kind of get into the small time frames. 5-minute candle was massive. Massive. And look, they're just playing with these shorts, taking the charts up and down. And again, it looked like we were going to get the bounce on the 1 hour time frame. And that's where I would be taking profits there, 68,250. I mean, you're getting far away from the 21-day moving average. 5-minute just blasted above the 200. I was telling you, when I see the 21 and the 200 near each other, a move is coming. We just talked about it. And this is how I use moving averages to tell me what's going on. Look, it just hit the target like that simply. Wow, that would have been the easiest trade of my life. Can't believe it's just like, damn, man, I've been missing it. Lately, I just feel like, come on. Anyway, like that was it. You get in, you get out. You don't have to trade for the rest of the day. That's it. That's the trade. Like, that's it. No other trade needed. And you're seeing, like, is everything in motion with Bitcoin here? Yeah, and I see I'm still long on the 4-hour time frame. I'll show you how I'm long right now as well. On MEXC. I've had a MEXC trade open for days now on the 4-hour. So look at that beautiful pump to the upside there for Bitcoin, and that's the model. When the 21 crosses the 200, price touches the 21. You have low stochastics below the dotted line. My goodness, I'm telling you right now. And it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday morning. Like today was a Wednesday morning. And it was the first day to trade because we had the bank holiday. So today's the real Tuesday, if you know what I'm saying. That's why yesterday was Monday. I got confused with yesterday and thought it was Wednesday. That's why I went hard. This thing looks like it's gone. Look at this side. Look at this thing. It's gone. I mean, that's a straight shot. That's some of the best. If you took a long on that, that's some of the best trading you've ever got in your life. I'm so tight that I'm in a trade, but I'm so tight I didn't take advantage of a scalp right there. Just mollywopped it all in. It was a beautiful double bottom. There were so many things that told you that was going to rip to the upside. And that's why I don't do the whole it raids double bottom things. Maybe it will later on. But that'll distract you from playing the model, right? If you see this double bottom and you go, no, I'm going to wait for it to come down here. But then you're going to miss the model. Like, you just got to trade the 21 and the 200 over and over again. The beautiful thing is people will miss it, and that's great because the people that miss it are our exit liquidity, right? Like, the people that don't understand this model are the people we get to eat up time and time again, right? So nice move for Bitcoin to the upside here. Tell your friends and family. And this is the Sam Price method. This is the Sam Price 21,200. I patented it. Nobody trades like me like this. Nobody has the sauce. Someone yesterday said, hey, you're always telling us the same. Can you stop? No. I'm going to tell you the same stuff over and over again. You're going to get excited soon because the same stuff is going to show you the sauce and show you what's happening and show you how it happens. All right? So that's kind of how it works. 68,300 for Bitcoin. So now if you're bullish, you're going to flag out here on the 1 hour. You see the 5-minute time frame. Now this is when someone has to get attemptively patient. You know what I mean? Anyway, we're going to look at this whole day. It's not crazy. Yeah, that fell and hit my foot and kind of hurt. I didn't know really where it was. And look, I mean, it was an inverted head and shoulder too. I just missed my perfect model, man. So crazy. An inverted head and shoulder, bounce to the upside. And that's why I do not short when price action is above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute. I tell people, be careful. Be careful. Short squeeze. Short squeeze. Here on this channel, we're the king of the short squeeze. We show the short squeeze. Bookmap did have some liquidity to the upside. If we zoom in right now, it still has some red up there. Not amazing, but it's got some red at 68.8, suggesting it may go another 800 there. So let's take a look at the big picture here and really whittle down Bitcoin. Can't believe how long it's taking me to do my top-down analysis today. But every day's different, right? As long as I get it done, that's the key. But we missed a beautiful trade. I try to get the top-down analysis done, but I got to keep the 1 minute on another. For now on, I was tell myself, keep the 1 minute on another screen all the time. Just always have it up. And that would be, I told you that was a good place to take profits there. 68.3, I think so. You're just really far away from the 21-day moving average now for BTC, right? Anyway, so let's move this up. Let's move this down. So you can see we have monthly support at 61,003. That's a key area we're going to be, paying close attention to. Even right there where we had this tweezer bottom at about 58,005, right? We kind of definitely wicked into this area. You could say we've tapped into this liquidity already. I'd be okay with that. You can see the last place is 20,000. Isn't that crazy? Doesn't mean we're going there for sure. There's a big chunk down here at about 56, 57. But so this is kind of the first big idea you want to talk. You do not want to close below 58, 59. Let me see where this candle opened. Yeah, 58,974 even. So basically 59. And then if you do, you can see your next stop would be 47,000 on the monthly. All right. So, and if we lose 47, we could talk about 36, 38. And if you lose 38, we could talk about 30K. But, I kind of, right now, we don't really have to talk about anything lower than the 46 because, we haven't closed below 59. And this will happen usually this took a couple months. So it's not like going to happen in a half a second. So we should have some time. Anyway, this is beginning to be a falling wedge. Falling wedges do break up 68% of the time. You just don't go down forever. And you do have a measured move of the flag. And so this is already starting to tell you that eventually there should be some type of reversal. Could send you to 112, right? And you have previous support as resistance. I also pull a Fibonacci from this wick to this wick. And you've wicked to the 786. This would be a money printer on the smaller time frame. So, if you pulled off a money printer today on whatever you're trading, this would be a money printer on the smaller time frames. Understandably so, right? See how much I got on the bottom there. There we go. So anyway, buying the 786 retracement can be very, very advantageous. Again, you'll learn this on your own. I'm not telling you what to do. But, there's some key signals here that was a beautiful buy for Bitcoin. I unloaded and bought as much Bitcoin as I could. I mean, you're at an 8, 6, 7, 9. These areas are just insane prices for Bitcoin. I've never seen them so good for so long. So, I see us coming back down to the 200 moving average now. I see us coming back to the, you're just this far away for the 21. If we're bullish, the 5 minute, I don't know how it's going to do it, but the 5 minute's going to create some type of bullish pattern. And then we could have another, quote unquote, whack at this. And whack-a-mole. Whack-a-mole. And get this move further to the upside. come down and retest this key area here at about 67,591. You see? Get the bounce. It could even, what I've seen in my lifetime is a couple things. Here's the scenario. It could just continue to rip out of nowhere. I've seen that. It could happen. And, you know, it's less likely, but it could happen, right? So there's one scenario. I think it's like a less than 10% chance. I think it's more, you know, it could go sideways and continue to rip when the 21 catches up. I think that's got like a 40 to 50% chance. It could come down and hit the 21 and retest these areas. I think that also has like a 40, you know, 40%, something like that. So I don't know what's going to happen for sure, but I'm pretty keen it's one of these two ideas. Okay, and so if we are bullish, and I don't know if we are or not, but if we are, you know, it looks like I could get entries somewhere into here, and I could take profits somewhere at about 69.7. And I'd like to keep my stop loss below the 200 moving average and below the previous support and resistances. So I would just kind of what I call hide the trade, hug the trade, whatever you want to say. Keep the trade on ice. And just keep it there for, you know, and again, this is the cool thing about this is if I come back and it's all the way back down here and it dumped to nowhere, it doesn't matter. It's sad. I'm like, oh, well, it didn't work out. I didn't get the I didn't get the move I was looking for. But if it just, you know, if it does one of these two things and I come back in, I don't know, 50 minutes to 60 minutes, and you say, you know, if you have no alerts here on the exchange, what you do is you just put alerts here on the 5-minute time frame. On the, you know. So back to the 2-week chart. So that's there for me now. If that starts to look like there's a possibility, I'm already ready for the trade. And I can handle it. And you don't have to think. Thinking, you know, the less you have to think, the less emotions will come up and the more you can execute. Just think about it. You just want it ready to go. Just go. Just go. 2-week chart also looks bearish to me, like it may want to come test the 200 moving average. The weekly did that, and now it's kind of still in limbo. So what do I see happening? I mean, to me, it looks like it may just make a bear flag here. And that bear flag may continue lower, and it may take 5 weeks to make it. You know, I think people are a little overly, you know, there's a chance that this is all it does. I mean, could it be the absolute bottom and bounce? I bought like it was. We get an inverted head and shoulder here. This somehow comes back to the upside, even if that's the case. Okay, and that's kind of what we're looking for. We take a look at this and you see, well, 127,000 by when? I guess it could go back to an all-time high by May. That would be insane, right? That's your best case scenario right now. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. I just tell you, man, April and May look like there's something big going on. Like the dollar's going to really collapse and we're going to get a real, you know, some hyperinflation like I don't think people have ever experienced, which will send houses, Bitcoin, and all sorts of assets back to the top again, including gold and silver. We'll look at silver too. We'll see if silver, and again, what I do is I look at all the indicators. You know, think about it. I started looking at indicators that gave me a high probability over time by looking at them throughout all the different, you know, I took my indicators, I put them on the Dow, you know, I put them on oil, I put them on everything, right? Gold, silver, you name it. And I said, man, this should move. Just had to do that, my OCD, right? This should move. And then I see things happening the way they should happen. And I was like, okay, so these indicators do work. They have a good probability. So it meant that if I put them on bigger assets and looked at the bigger time frames, I could probably predict where we're going in the bigger, you know, hopefully with some probability what's going to happen in the future. And so now I put gold, silver, Bitcoin, all this stuff together. And if they all look like they're going to have a move in like a few months from now, it just kind of tells me, you know, and again, and it could be wrong. Maybe they're all telling me. Usually when I see 5 assets that all start pointing in the same direction, it gives me, that's how I really clue in. That's why when we do the macro on Friday, we do Bitcoin dominance, Tether dominance, we do the dollar, we do it all because it's important to see that. Okay? It's important to see that. Remember, Bitcoin was far away from the 21-day moving average. You're expecting to come back. It cannot go that far away from the 21. Every time you're in a pump that goes that crazy, you got to start thinking logically to take some profit. Look, it's got to come. Look, it came back to the 21 just like it was supposed to. Now let's see how the 15-minute can handle it. The 5-minute can handle it. And that's why you do. So you get FOMO. Oh, I got to get in right now. A bunch of people bought this green candle here. And then they sold off as it came down. I bet someone on the stream might have done it. See how I waited? I saw my model that I knew played out. And I calmly realized that I could have traded it. It's okay. This is one of thousands of shows. What number show is this? I've been doing the show how many days? You know? Let's see what number show this is. I think there's a, this is show number 1912. Almost about to hit 2,000. On show number 2,000, which is very soon. We're going to have to do some celebratory thing, man. Right? Shout out to the 1,222 people, beautiful souls here on the live. That's amazing. 2222. And can we get the watchers up to the likes up to the watchers? I would greatly appreciate it. We have 309 people on that like. Thank you so much for the chat revenue. We will take a look at your fan funding. I am not ignoring it. Matter of fact, I'll just talk about it right now to give you guys that recognition. I can't stand if I send a super chat and no one mentions it. It's happened to me before, and I'm like, yeah, man. You're too cool to mention the chat. Shout out to My Travel Guide 3028 with the $2.50. Honor and respect to Vasil Levski, Apostle of Freedom, executed by the Ottomans 150 years ago. God bless you, Sam, the lifers, and all the heroes. And you can Google him, look him up. Your experience is our education. Thank you. Prayers for the daily progress in your healing. God bless Rave Song Records with the $20 super chat. Wow. You did not have to give, but you did. That will come back to you both tenfold. And shout out to my top fans, Rave Song Records, My Travel Guide, Servato Estrada, Ryan Sir, Robin Gray, A-Train, Beats by JXN, Diamond, Crypto Weirdo, and JoJo, the top 10, baby. Jake from the Rabbit 11 and 12, and Andrew Dulce. So yeah, we're just looking for some consolidation, baby. Just give me 5 to 10 candles sideways showing me something with a 21 touching, and I'm in there like swimwear. That's all. I love to see this movement in gold, suggesting that gold will prevail. And it makes sense to me. It didn't make sense that gold wasn't pumping to the upside. And remember, God bless all the people that hit that like button. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. You were all blessed and amazing. And I'm so thankful for all of you for doing that. I'm very grateful for everybody that hits that like button, kicks it with me, and shows up every single day. Thank you. So bigger time frame suggests we're still in a downtrend, and we're going to continue to dump. Does that mean we're going to do it for sure? No, we're going to show up every single day, and if we see something, we're going to say something. We're going to trade something, right? I'm hanging on a 4-hour reversal right now still. We'll see if it prevails. We need a green candle next to a red one on the weekly candle, the 5-day candle, the 3-day chart. All right, we need to hold up these wicks. It doesn't look amazing right now, I have to be honest. But only time will tell. Right now, the 3-day is battling, but to me, it's even looking like it's turning into some type of bear flag. But hey, it's putting in its third, it's a tweezer bottom, a higher tweezer bottom. That closes in 2 days and 9 hours, though. We got some time. So again, if you're watching me, are we in a bear market? Yes, we've been in a bear market because once you're below the daily 200 moving average for more than a month, you're in a bear market, folks. 100% you're in a bear market. I never said we weren't. So I want to clear the air there. I'd never flip-flopped on that. I've always said we're in a bear market, okay? Doesn't mean you can't make money in a bear market. There's some laws, but it's been mostly, look, all dumps mainly. And we've still been able to long a lot, which is crazy, right? That's how good I am at finding, like, these scalp longs. 3-day chart, you want to see that candle close. Daily chart, you got to get a green close today. Turn this into some type of, I don't know. First time the bear flags doesn't play out to the downside. It does look, you see, even if you were bearish, I would expect this pump back to the 21, though. You get tight inside, and then this eventually rolls over. And you got a bearish flag here, and you take out the low. So I'm still looking for a move down, personally. But you know what? Maybe not. I can, and so then we go to the 4-hour, and that's why I'm still stuck on the fact that this 4-hour could be in. So here we are back to kind of what we started with, right? That's why I do, isn't it how we come full circle? It feels there's something complete when I come back from the monthly. It's almost like I went on a little journey or a hike. My heart got reset, my mind's reset. I can start to see things clearly. I'm like, okay, this makes sense to me. Shout out to everybody here. I feel absolutely beautiful today on the stream. I can barely feel my leg because, I don't know. I mean, I did take some ibuprofen. I think that's kicking in, helping the swelling. But I just want to say thank you to everybody. You're all blessed and amazing. And without everybody, one of you that shows up every day, like one day, like I realized, like I saw some comments. I was sitting there in the afternoon and I read some comments and people were like, man, I love your show. It's really what gets me up, and gets me going. I'm so motivated. You've changed my life. And then I met even some people that I take really seriously at parties or events. And they were like, man, I'm a hedge fund guy in London. I watch your show every morning. It really helps me put the market into perspective. And I'm just like, so some days we're all in our heads and I have to remember all these people that say, hey man, you've helped me in ways you've never thought possible. Another thing that I love is my subconscious mind really tracks the moving averages, right? Now there's a chance we get tight, we pull the 200 towards us and this flattens us and we get rejected by it and dump. But usually when we got this much distance, okay, and the moving average start to get this tight, something happens. So I want to see if I could turn off price action. I did it one time. It was so interesting, and I could show you how, I don't know how I don't think I can, right? Or you can right click it and just turn it off. Anyway, yeah, if I turn them black, it'll turn. It's interesting, a couple times I've turned off price action. I don't know how I done did it, but I have done did it. That's just the volume I'm playing with. I think it might be up here. Yeah, it might be down there. Oh, no. Undo that. Undo is Control Z. If you don't want something, you don't do it, So today we found the model. And again, the model is quick. In and out, 1 minute. You get that spike. You see the massive short squeeze. You see the distance from the 21. You get out. You know me, I'm pushing that stop loss to the ups. Today would have been a great trade. Damn, man. It would have been amazing. It'll happen again. Thank you, dear Lord, for the opportunity to be here every day. Thank you to have a channel. I'm so blessed to have a YouTube channel right now in these times. I'm so blessed that God led me to do YouTube, that God led me to have a channel, that God led me to have all these beautiful things in my life. All you beautiful people here every day. I have so many things to be grateful for every single day, and I'm going to focus on that all the time. Today's going to be a beautiful sunny day here in Florida. Yesterday was too. It's going to be 77 degrees. And so, hey, man, right? It could be a freezing cold day, but today's going to be gorgeous. Right now it's 75. Feels like 82 here in sunny Florida. So, wow, tomorrow's going to drop to 57, 58 though. Wow, that's weird. But then it's going to be back into the high 70. It'll be 80 by Friday, man. Unbelievable, right? So blessed to be alive, beautiful weather. And hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. So now we're looking for this to kind of cup and handle its way to the upside, really. I feel like they did the stop hunting. They've got us through most of the week. This is a cup and handle, and we're looking for the target. Target's about 72.6. If you can get above it, retest. Bam, right? Now we got a gap in the VRVP, and we got movement up towards the 200 moving average, and we got chop right here. So it all makes sense, right? So your liquidity zone. Boom. Right? And look, I got something else up my sleeve right now. Check this out. What a great show, huh? Shout out to everybody. Thank you for really bringing the vibes up. Thank you for keeping it amazing. I'm excited to be here. This is awesome. I'm blessed. The best show in crypto by far, man. I love y'all. Thank you. There's other people I love. Don't get me wrong. They got great shows, but man, this show rocks. This show rocks. You guys keep me moving every single day. Seriously, without the energy, I don't know where I would be. Look at the CME gap here, right? And we talked about it, right? There's one right there, right where I'm talking about. And look, there's even, there's a gap of the VRVP up to 78.5. I'm looking just to get to the first area there. But there's a gap there. And look, there's another gap up there. I remember there was two gaps last time we did this. Oh, yeah, there it is there. But this gap is fat. Look how big it is. It's there on the daily. And so we got a CME gap up there that's likely going to get filled. Only 95% of them get filled. That's, look at that. It looks so beautiful in the 8-hour time frame. And Bitcoin did this exact thing not too long ago. It made what looked exactly like a descending triangle bear flag, and it broke out of it. I remember it was on our way to Portugal, Spain, and it was looking nasty. It was dumping, and it went down to 109 right there. If we zoom in, I'll do it on another time. But I remember I called that long, and we took the long. My entire trip lasted from here to, I literally opened the trade. I think that night, got on the plane, went in and out a couple times, saw my Model 2, 8 hour above the 200, like everything started to play out. And then I closed the trade on the top as the plane was coming in at like when they told me like we were landing, you have to put your stuff away. I closed the trade on a live stream while I was streaming in the plane. And it's just so crazy. My entire Portugal trip was this, what an amazing time. So I went abroad, got to meet people, talk to people, and the whole time I was making money. It was unbelievable. Amazing, actually. I feel blessed. So Bitcoin's struggling right now as we talk, though. Not, you know what I mean? But that's okay. I didn't expect it to go crazy, but I also didn't want to see it just lose the 200 like that. We did not trade it. I want to make that clear. And again, pump and dump it, man. I really don't trust the volatility. Remember when I said I'd be taking profits? And I'm sure my lifers did. Y'all are smart. But I'm sure there's people that got caught up. But that's just what happens. Yeah, for the long run, join the group. Yeah, shout out to Reliable J. If you're looking for long-term, you want a group that you want to be in. Like, okay, here's the deal. You believe in trading. Number one, right? So check the box off. You believe in trading. That's right. Like you're stuck on it. You're not going to lose. They tried to stop you. You've lost money. You've gained money. You believe in trading. Check. Number two, you want to find a group of people that you really get along with, that you can talk about trading to all the time. Anytime you want, you can wake up in the middle of the night, you go to sleep, whatever, you want to be a part of something. Boom, right? That's what people pay for. Like, I know I pay to be in I pay to be in other clubs, car clubs, this club, that, right? It's an added fee to life, but it's an added experience too for the other people. There's a social club I pay for. It's expensive, right? I'm not going to say how much it is, but it's expensive. But I meet other people that pay to be in the social club. So then, like, the people that I meet are high, are very high quality, Anyway, it just, doesn't mean everyone that has money is high quality. I want to make that clear. But you meet good people, man. I put in a lot of work. I didn't get, I wouldn't be able to pay for that club if I didn't work my butt off. So it's just like, boom. So where am I getting at? And then you want to learn, and then you want to watch the markets long term. Like, you don't want to just be in a group for a year. You want to be in a group long term. CryptoLifer.com, my group, man. Like, I check off the boxes for someone that's serious. And you believe you're going to be profitable. So if you're going to be profitable, $99 a month, right? For your mental well-being, right? I'm talking about always being grateful at night and in the morning. And I'm not just writing that. It's not some AI writing that. I truly feel it. It's how I'm feeling about the day, right? And again, you can short back to the 21. Like, that's a short you pump. Second, you get a wicked candle like that, right? I mean, you short back to the 21. I don't do it as much usually because I'm like happy I got out of the trade. Usually it's like, whoop, whoop. But wow, a pump and dump, baby. Bitcoin looks like a meme coin. Look at that. That's why I sell whenever I'm away for the 21. And that's why I perfected like a day trading strategy that just doesn't really care what happens after you sell. And look at that. Now, this is like rare. This doesn't happen. Usually these two things happen more. But there's like I'd say maybe a 10 or 15% chance that this happens every time. So now you're struggling. Anyway, let's get back to the bigger time frame. But I wanted to show you the CME gap, right? That was the whole point. Hello. Funny, my baby, man. She wants in on the office. She can hear daddy. I love you, Samiri. My little sweetie pie. So here we are. We're back on this idea. So the 4 hour, again, it closes a green candle next to a red one. But no, it doesn't matter. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if we stay in 4 hour chop for a while here. One candle, 2, 3, maybe another dip, 4, 5. You know what I mean? And then that's 20 hours of chop again before this breaks out. Looks like we are going to hold the higher low, though. You know what I mean? Which tells me we're going to at least come back to the top of this range. When is, I'm not sure, I'd stay off the smaller time frames now that we got the model. Let's take a look at the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour looks like a bear, honestly, it kind of looks like a head and shoulder that got rejected by the 200. Some head and shoulder behavior there. That sends you somewhere to 65.8, 66 now. And wow, look at the 15-minute nasty, like, kind of looks like cat ears to me. Not the best cat ears, but that's cat ears they usually dump further to the downside. I've seen it happen many a time. Could also say it's like a descending triangle yet again, that like yesterday, that it spiked up, but then they're going to break it back down and dump it. Again, we're in chop. Again, it's in iffy territory. Right now, I'd have to say it's looking a little more bearish than bullish, but I don't see, the model played out for me that, or, I'm pissed I didn't take it publicly, but it's all right. I'm so grateful that I'm here. I'm grateful for everything else. So I'm not pissed that I lost the trade or I didn't take it, because that would be mean I lack gratitude. And when you lack gratitude, you're in fear. Isn't that funny? If I'm upset about that, then let's talk about it logically. Being upset about missing a trade means you have missing a trade. What is missing? Fear, FOMO, right? Missing is fear of missing out. So there's fear. Every time you think you miss something, there's fear there. If I live in abundance and God loves me, there's going to be many opportunities for me to trade again. That's not going to be the only time I can ever trade again. So why should I be upset that I missed it? I shouldn't be. That's illogical, right? So if I live in abundance and God loves me, it's illogical to be upset about the trade. Amen? Amen. So that's why FOMO doesn't make sense. That's why fear doesn't make sense. That's why fear doesn't really have a place, right? And, so it all kind of comes full circle. Oh, look at that. So in my mind, this is coming back inside of what could be a descender and dump in our face. Crazy how fast it lost to 200. I've never, that's rare. You don't see it pump that, now you want to see the continue, but that's how you can tell if the daily candle's really turning around or it's just whatevs. If you're really bullish, the 1 hour pumps out this candle and then it makes a beautiful bull flag, and the 21 comes to it and it pumps out this, and it pumps out these flags too. Pumps out this flag, then it pumps out these, I said candle flag. And then it pumps out this flag too as well. You see, and that's how and that's why I like to take the day in sections. I like to take the first candle, sell it. Look for the next part, buy it and sell it, right? You take a couple of these, you're in and out. Because if it dumps, and you sell there, it's a perfect sell. If it goes sideways and you can get back in, and I perfect the idea of getting back in. See, most traders are afraid they sell here, they can never get back in. So they round trip every trade up and down. Whatever you do, you're going to keep doing. So if you're afraid to sell and you round trip, you're gonna round trip almost every trade you're in. It's gonna happen over and over again. That's gonna become what you do. If you sell away for the 21 every time, you're gonna be somebody that knows how to take profits every time. You see what I mean? So doing what you should do every single day, or just learning what you should do by probability, and what you should do is based on probability. This happens most of the time. If you don't know the probability, then you don't know what you should be doing most of the time. So look, I set my trap too. I set my quantum theory. I said this or that. It didn't do either one, so there's no trade for me. Someone else might have chased it because they don't have. My system tells me when I should get in and when I should not get in a trade. And this is what my mentor taught me. My mentor taught me so much. God rest his soul. So now I'm expecting this to get tight and to break down. I'm expecting it to go the length here. I'm expecting a move to 66.2. Because this is a descending triangle and they dump to the downside more than they don't. So many people just lost a bunch of money right now. You have to understand that. So many people shorted this and got caught up in a short squeeze. So many people got in long at the lateness and got caught and stopped out. And then so many people are going to jump into late shorts here. They might actually win those. Funny. But through this, late shorts got to pump. Late shorts. It's crazy, right? And this is how people lose money. Now, a bunch of people made money in this melee. And see, if you use my system and just go with it, you'll make money. So I see downside for Bitcoin here, as you can see. I'm calling on this to either go sideways and dump or to continue to dump. I'm looking for the first target at 66.2. So that pump, a lot of times the pump pulls everybody in. It's kind of what gets everybody excited, gets them pulled in, and then dumps on their face You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Warner Mackey, 806. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much for the super chat. You didn't have to give, but you did. That's very nice of you. That's awesome. That's like super cool. You know, my mom was one of the nicest people you've ever met. She never talked bad about anybody. She was always in a good mood. She made the best of every situation. She was just a loving, beautiful being. And I want to be as much like my mom as I can to represent her and for people to know who she was, what she represented, right? And so if I can act the way she acted, I can carry on her legacy. And you can believe in what she believed in because you can believe in what I believe in, which is just being loving, caring. And you know, my mom never talked about religion. You wouldn't know what religion she was. She did mention God or Jesus every 5 seconds. And I'm not trying to say, it's, you know, I do sometimes. I'm not trying to say if you do, I'm not putting anybody down. I'm just telling you about my mom. But she was just so beautiful and sweet, man, and kind. You know? Her name was Irene. She was very loving. She was very caring. She was awesome. She was one of the nicest people you've ever met in your entire life. I'm telling you right now. So I carry on her tradition every day by being here every day and letting you guys know that I love you. I appreciate you. And I want you to do amazing things with your life. Not only do I want to see you get rich, but I want to see you give, you know, feed people that need feeding, spread love around the world. The world can look like such a dark place, right? And there's so many, you know, things kind of pushing us on all different angles. And there's so many reasons to just say, hey, what does it matter? You know, the trillionaires run the world anyway, right? But, you know, there is this conglomerate light. When we attach all our light together, we can change the world. We can and will, you know, and I love this one saying. It says, how come nobody ever thinks just a few people can change the world? Because that's all that ever did. You know, all the biggest changes that ever happened in the world. Such a strong quote, right? When you think about it, think about it. How come nobody thinks just a few people could, a few people could change the world? Because that's all that ever did. Every big movement was like a grain of sand that turned into a beach, man. Just a few grains of sand, right? So staying positive, and remember, one positive thought is stronger than 1,000 negative thoughts. So if there's 1,000 negative people with 1,000 negative thoughts, and there's just us, 1,000 of us with 1,000 positive thoughts, we're stronger than 1,000,000 of them. You see what I'm saying? So just keep showing up every day, keep believing in yourself, keep pushing, and never stop. So look, the model played out beautifully. So crazy. And that's why I like the model. It doesn't really matter what's happening in the market. There it is. You see what I'm saying? That's it. That's a day's pay right there. That's Sam Price right there. That's all you need. Check that off. You can do this every day or at least 5 to 10 times a week. You could find this at the right time during my show, during the reversal, specifically during 10 and 12. This happened at 10:30. It's just, it's bonita, man. It's beautiful, right? Bitcoin low needs to scare everyone, and it will. Yeah, it's changing. There's more good than bad. Only TV promotes low frequency, 100%. When I was a kid, you could watch a movie here or there that had some fun, you know, that was about the history, about past, not even just a documentary, but just a good movie. Now you watch the stuff now. It's either grooming the kids, it's either, you know what I mean? It's getting them ready for something they shouldn't be talking about. It's, you know what I mean? It's entering your home with a theory or a thought that you would never enter your home with. Yeah, it's, you know, there's killings and shootings in the first 10 minutes of every, first 5 minutes of every watch 90% of all content on Netflix. The first 5 minutes has a horrible, grotesque scene with blood or some type of, I'm telling you right now, go check it out. Go do it. Go flick through and watch the first 5 minutes of like 10 random things. I guarantee you see a bunch of gore. You know, before you used to kind of go after it. Now it's every single thing. Everything is a murder mystery. Everything is a detective. Some, you know, a girl disappeared into town, right? It's every single time. It's dark. It's clear. It's dreary. It's sad, right? And that's what they did. You know, the communists used to build buildings that had no facade and were flat because it helped people it really lowered it lowered everybody around them. Low frequency buildings. Like imagine a building with no windows and just, there's a building like that on the Upper East Side in Manhattan, like 54th and 10th. Some would say it's like a NSA building or something. It's got no windows. It's completely concrete. It's so weird. It's like, you know, and it's like so strange to look at. Used to call them programs. Now they call them shows. Yeah, exactly. Television tell lies to your vision. The Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth, right? Realize is to realize the real lies, right? To see the real lies. When you realize, you see the real lies. That's the, I came up with that one day. I was by myself. I was like, when you realize you see the real lies, that's crazy, right? So again, if we're bullish, the 5 seconds going to get back above the 200 moving average. Here we go again with the same sauce, right? Otherwise, you're just going to hit this, get rejected, and keep rolling over. Then the 30 seconds going to cross the 200. Then the 1 minute. And then we're back to the same scenario. Again, if we go back here to this area. And again, how do you know this? We'll back test it today. Look, we had this move today. How would you be able to hit the move today? Okay, well, you can go back to the 30-second chart. You can see that here we crossed the 200 moving average on the 30-second. You could have put a stop right there and rode this puppy. You can go to the 5-second chart. And you can see before all this happened, the 5-second crossed the 200 right there. That could have been your entry. And you go back to the 1 second. And there it is there when the 1 second crossed the 200. That was the beginning of the move. This goes into infinity. I don't know when we could stop going in to the millisecond, to the, the trillisecond, right? Is that right? I've never heard of a trillisecond, but you know what I'm saying. If it goes millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, is there a billisecond? There's a millisecond, a billisecond, a trillisecond, a quadrillisecond. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how deep do we go? How deep is your love? So, and again, this is how I taught myself all these strategies. I was like, oh, whenever you're touching the 21, above the 200, you're going to pump. You see? Make an ascending triangle, touch the 21 above the 200, you're going to go the length of the pole. This is the 1 second chart. This is, and then you're going to get bearish div, you're going to break down. The 21's going to get away from the 200 moving average. Look at that. Take a picture of this, right? And watch this now. I'll go BTC USD all-time history index. Okay. To me, Bitcoin's like on the edge of dumping or pumping every second. Like it's either about to break out. This is an M pattern that it's about to just completely dump to, which I think is the most likely, or it's going to bounce, catch the shorts off guard, go sideways, and then it's going to dump or pump, but we won't know. You know what I mean? We're at the mercy of the markets right now in such a crazy way. So look at this. You go to the 2 week. And you see, look, the 21 away from the 200. Making a hill, right? And you look at this and you realize this is the same thing as this. I'm going to give you, some people might get goosebumps here. Like it might freak them out. I don't know. So look at that, all right? The 21 away from the 200. You get bear div, you make a lower high. Lower high, 21 away from the 200. You can put it on the weekly too if it just makes a little more, But bounce, this is the 1 second, this is the weekly. 1 second, the weekly. 1 second, and you can see it's the same stuff over and over again. I'll show you something else that will blow your mind. The algorithm inside of Bitcoin that you don't believe, right? It's so crazy, it'll freak you out. It's so crazy. Watch, I used to show this on the show all the time. Watch this. This is going to blow your mind. This is crazy. I haven't shown this on the show in years, man. I forgot. My show used to be I was more like a mad scientist, fractal guy. I used to show fractals all the time. But check this out. Go to like the daily. This is going to like freak you out. Okay. So Bitcoin operates in the same algorithm over and over again. It does the same thing on small and big time frames. You're like, what do you mean? Well, let me show you. This is so crazy. So what it does is it makes a variation of a rising wedge. Then it comes down and it'll make like a bit of a double bottom. Slanted double bottom, twisted double bottom, right? Rising wedge. Double bottom, right? And you'd be like, no, like it doesn't, you know, you'd be like, what? A rising wedge. Eventually it will end in some type of double bottom. All right. Here's the rising wedge here. There's the double bottom there. That one faded, but you know. And look, rising wedge here. Then it comes down to the double bottom. And I always used to show it like this. And hold on, I'm not, you're going to be like, what? Okay. It does it on bigger and smaller time frames. Okay. Rising wedge here. Comes down to the double bottom. You understand? And this is how everything in the world works. From the NASDAQ, rising wedge, comes down to the double bottom. It's crazy, bro. Then it makes a rising wedge. Comes down to the double bottom. When you zoom in, you'll see it is a double bottom on a smaller time frame. Right? And it will do this over and over and over again in every single way, shape, and form. Like, it just never stops. If you zoom in here, you'll find that daily had a double bottom in it. Like on the 4 hour. This is a rising wedge. You'll find a double bottom there. This is a rising wedge. You'll find the double bottom there. It just does it over and over again. Here's the rising wedge. Right? There's the double bottom. Again, sometimes it's like slanted. Because it's an algo, right? I mean, it has to bend and flow like a quilt. Oh, I'm not done yet. So big, okay. Like here, it did it again here. Like, it made a rising wedge. They found the double bottom, right? It's just nuts. Here's the rising wedge. It's attempting to find the double bottom. You see? I feel like it's attempting to triple bottom here. And again, if you can't see it yet, watch, you'll see it like this. If we go to like the day, the 4 hour, you zoom into like a smaller time frame. So Bitcoin here made a rising wedge. It always gets too high. They're supposed to break down. It does, and then it doesn't reverse until it makes this like double bottom, right? Then it makes the rising wedge, and it doesn't reverse until it makes the double bottom, right? And then it makes the rising wedge, and it doesn't reverse until it makes the double bottom. You see? It just does this over and over. Rising wedge, it reverses here at a double bottom. Rising wedge here. Attempts to reverse at a double bottom, can't complete the double bottom. Eventually makes the double bottom and reverses, right? So, but it's just a series of the same exact behavior over and over again. There's the double bottom, you know, that one dolphin dip though. And it seems to be on macro and micro, right? So here we look at it on the monthly. And it kind of like it made this rising wedge here. And then it kind of, it makes eventually there was some type of double bottom like down in there on the smaller time frame, but it makes the low, the second low bounces, right? So here it's like kind of the same scenario, right? So it has to kind of like, right? Or double bottom or something, you know what I mean? When you pull the big fib and you really start looking at it, it's saying, hey, 38,000 double bottom. Makes a lot of sense. Not saying it's guaranteed, but it make a lot of sense. And it would complete the 4-year cycle pretty nicely. Right? You'd have your like elongated, and you'd retrace to the 786 like you're supposed to on a falling wedge. You'd have your beautiful measured move on your next leg up on the Elliott. And it gives you $150,000 Bitcoin by 2028. Right after the halving. And if you're basically at 150 after the halving, you're pretty set. You're set for life on Bitcoin at that point. I just want Bitcoin to stay above 100K for the rest of its life, and I'd be set for life. Like, that's all that matters, right? We're just looking for that, attempting to get that. No guarantees. So again, just kind of showing you the bigger picture idea. All right. Sam, do you think it would be wise to sell BDE and rebuy lower? I would never buy. I don't sell Bitcoin for any reason. You got to do whatever makes you happy, though. Other people have different lives than me. For me, Bitcoin is like buying real estate in Manhattan, right? It may fluctuate, for the most part. I mean, but things may fluctuate from year to year. But in a 10 to 20 year period, you're passing it down to your kids. It's a great investment, right? So for me, I look at Bitcoin like real estate. It's the scarcest digital asset in the world right now. If every millionaire in the world wanted a Bitcoin, they couldn't get it. And it's getting more scarce every day. Only 1 million left to mine. Of all the Bitcoins ever mined in the world, there's only 1 million left. I believe it's this scare. You know what I mean? If you don't realize how serious it is to be grabbing up Bitcoin right now, again, and I'm not a financial advisor, nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. But dang. Now, I know I'm talking a lot of like lower lows and stuff like this, but does that mean I think it's there for sure? I don't know. What I do is I work really hard. I don't take days off. And so there will be income for me to buy the bottom if we get that low. But right now I am buying as much as I can from here to, this is my area to buy. I can't buy the top. When I started buying here and here and here, I can't start putting all my money up there. I couldn't. I got a little sad, to be honest, when the fear and greed got this high, because I said, dang, man, like, all the times I've made good money and all the times that Bitcoin made me a lot of money, I bought it when we were in the fear and greed was at a 6 and a 7, right? We were never this low. So when I start thinking about that, I'm like, dang, I need these extreme fears to buy Bitcoin, right? I can't be buying Bitcoin in extreme greed. And so that's when I decided, yeah, it makes sense, right? That makes sense to me. So a lot of squiggly wigglies today. Bitcoin's attempted to get back up above the 200 there on the 1-minute time frame. That's its first like big hurdle. Like I wouldn't touch it again now until it breaks above really the 5-minute 200. But it's got good volatility today, man. Back and forth. That's all you can ask for. Is good back and forth price action on any given day. So look, I just showed you how the 1 second looks just like the weekly. Just teaching you so much today about like the broader idea of trading, the macro, the micro. How things can fit inside of different pockets of time and space, right? And now let's just kind of talk about where we are, what matters right now. So what matters right now is the daily time frame. You want to map out your highs and your lows on the daily. For instance, you had support at 63K, right? 62.9. You've got resistance at 71.8. Okay, bang. And you got this other support line at about 66. You're attempting to put in a new support, but every time the daily closes green, you can't seem to get it. You do have a trend line you're attempting to hold, but it's not amazing. And so for me, this is kind of where you sit. And to me, that's a symmetrical triangle bear. That's a bear flag. And it's more likely going down than up. And that's your measured move, the length from here to there. I don't worry about this stuff here because that was just kind of a reactionary move. So 55,000 looks likely for Bitcoin. It looks like an M. You got to close a green candle next to a red one here on the daily. Then we can clean it up a little, make it a little more tighter here on the 4 hour. And what we're all looking for is just, from this slow bleed, a bounce back to the upside. But I could see us just making an M dump. Target I keep getting is 62,800 for Bitcoin. So does that mean, do you enter a short right now? Might be a smart idea to head short. I'm not going to do it. Because I'll just, today I saw that model. I'll just take the model when I find it. I got really stingy with my leverage trading. I just trade the models now. That's it. And I'm really disciplined. It's weird. The more disciplined I am, I'm more boring because I take less trades. I trade more on exactly what I see. But I mean, the more disciplined you are, the better off you should be over time when it comes to trading. So yeah, you need that 4 hour to flip. You didn't get it. Even the 1 hour is kind of showing bearishness there. And there's the 50-minute, which to me looks like cat ears. Does look like slanted cat ears that will dump down. I'm more bearish than bullish unless Bitcoin can kind of start to consolidate at least a little bit in the next 2 hours. Yeah, it looks like double toppy with a lower high. That's what cat ears are. The Batman, whatever you want to call it. Right? Little whiskers. There's your tongue, little cat. Anyway. Red folder day, Sammy. Yeah, there's another reason too. But, I mean, regardless, that's cat ears looking like we're going to take a dump. That looks like you're going to dump. I got to be honest. Probability is you could short that puppy. Not a lot of movement, though. 169, unless I get real close to price action. So it's over risking me, which tells me to be careful. Let's take a look here on Wednesday. Is today Wednesday finally? Yes. All right, I got it wrong yesterday. So we have durable goods. Let's take a look at how the information came out today at 8:30. Durable goods, 0.9%, right? Month over month. So core durable goods are more expensive by 6.6%. That's a lot. Durable goods orders are down 1.8. They thought they'd be down 1.8. So they're down less than they thought. Building permits are higher than forecasted. So more people building. Housing starts. More houses are getting started than we thought. Capacity utilization rate is pretty much the same, slightly off. And industrial production month over month is up. What you can see is durable goods orders month over month. Also, core durable goods orders. So that's the orders. They're up. So the orders are up, actually. I read that wrong. So the orders are up. More people are ordering than we thought. Core orders, durable good orders are down. But core orders are up. Interesting. Building permits are up. Housing is better. Capacity utilization rate, which I can, Google, but I'm guessing it's how many people you have per how much real estate you got open, right? Industrial production month over month. And you got Fed minutes, which I don't like, someone's going to go over the Fed minutes today. I think that's pointless. Okay. Tomorrow you got unemployment claims at 8:30. Expect that to kind of rock the market. And then pending home sales at 10 a.m. too as well. And what do we got? Core retail sales. We got core PCE on Friday too. So tomorrow and Friday we have a lot of information. And when you have a banking holiday with big information at the end of the week, it puts pressure on the week. Harder to perform. A lot of people are in and out more. They don't trust the market. You get it? It can create that lack of faith, which means people aren't going to be wanting to sit in trades too long. So I don't know. I identified a possible cat ear pattern that could dump to the downside here. That's what we got right now in the next hour or two. From there we move on. The bigger time frames also suggest a bear flag. I'm looking to see if the smaller time frames can hold this higher low on the 4 hour. And we saw the model earlier on the live stream, which played out nicely. Congratulations to anyone that took the model and was able to make some gains. Sad I couldn't do it with you. Housing, we bottom now, coming out of housing recession. Things are getting better on new construction side. It's good to know. Yeah. Waiting for the long run. No more shorts at this point for me. Here you go. Hitting your model so much trading becomes boring. Should be all our goals. Exactly. You want somebody to really blow your mind. We are leaving now, and I promise to just read Timothy chapter 2, verse 3, 1 through 5. I just put that into Grok and it will tell me. I wish I knew it by heart. I can eventually though, right? Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for being here and being amazing. We appreciate you. We love you, and we really, really thank you for your constant support, love, and your comments. If you hit the like button, that's awesome. You know, if you throw down on the live, that's amazing. Just thank you. If we break down heavily like you anticipate, then surely we would have done so at the rejection of the highs, don't you think? I don't anticipate that. Yeah, I don't know why you're saying I anticipate that. I say I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I could be at a board meeting getting paid ski, but I'd rather be here supporting Sammy. The option to choose is where the power is. Thank you. Think and Grow Rich. God bless you, man. It seems as it wants to wait until FOMC minutes. I think so too. I'm at home inspector Southwest Florida, and myself and my inspector friends are all really slow right now for what that's worth. Interesting. Thank you for your most precious asset, Sammy. Thank you. Yeah. Bitcoin fighting back above 62,000. And what the only thing that we're looking at too is this strong kind of like this strong level in the 1 hour that doesn't want to give it up. We fell through it here, but we bounced. It's almost like it's ironclad here at 67,000. The falling wedge should break up to the upside 68% of the time. We should break out. My whole thing is if the 1 hour closes a green candle next to a red one, I'd use that wick to open up a long, right? That's just very simple stuff. Okay. And I'll update my group what I plan on doing. I do like Wednesdays. Wednesdays are a great day to trade, as though the week has been a funny day, so it hasn't been perfect. I got some news for you. Let's take a look at what's happening in the news here. Remember, we got the AI wars that the lifers are in. That's on the news right now. Check out the leaderboard. Hit this link and click the like button. We'd greatly appreciate that. Okay, that's amazing. Oh, God bless the beautiful people. That's amazing that 10 of you people actually took it out of your day to do that. I am so blessed and grateful. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful for everybody here and everyone in the trading group, everyone. I love you all. Thank you. Very nice of you. Hey, you get what you deserve. Hey, I'm excited. It is what it is, right? We're right where we need to be. I see catters on the 15-minute that look like it's going to dump down to 66.2. No guarantees. That's just the one thing I see right now. It could change in the next couple of minutes, hour. Who knows? Right now, that's what I see happening for Bitcoin. Okay. American crypto holders are confused about a new tax law. So new rules in crypto exchanges like Coinbase issue a Form 1098-DA. Before, they didn't have to say you sold 500 grand worth of crypto. You told the IRS that you did it and you paid your taxes. But now, Coinbase is going to be sending whatever you sold to the IRS as a form, right? So they'll be able to cross-reference now. Like, it's just basically like a regular, and again, that was a new rule that got put out this year. So that's all. As long as you're doing the same thing, you'll be fine. No stress. Bitcoin ETS bleed as capital rotates into Ethereum and Solana. Okay. Interesting, right? More people are buying ETH than Sol. Good to know. I like that, right? I'm a Sol holder, so yeah, let's see. And I got my Bitcoin long term. Just in Saudi Arabia's AI company Humane commits $3 billion to Elon Musk's XAI. Humane backs XAI with $3 billion. Series E investment ahead of historic SpaceX merger. That's a big deal. Bitwise reportedly files for U.S. election prediction market ETFs. I'm not a fan, man. I'm a trader, but now everything's a prediction market, and now there's prediction market ETFs, and I don't know. I don't know. When does it end? Like, when does it turn to gambling completely, right? Lagarde may exit ECB early as EU moves ahead with digital euro. Christine Lagarde may leave ECB early as EU advances the digital euro, raising questions on crypto regulation and euro's monetary future. Interesting, right? She's the central bank president, Christine Lagarde, and she's reportedly considering leaving office early just as the digital euro enters a critical implementation phase. And Hyperliquid launches Policy Center with $28 million budget, taps crypto heavyweight James Chervinsky as CEO. Polymarket's continuing to move forward. They've got utility, they've got a plan, they've got the monkey. The money, you know. All coins are bleeding out as liquidity retreats and Bitcoin becomes the only trade that matters. Over 31 million tokens now compete for shrinking liquidity. I know, it's crazy. Too many tokens, not enough people paying attention. And the WFL price jumps 22% as 313 million tokens transferred from Binance. And there you have it with the news today in cryptocurrency. Keeping you up to date every single day with what's happening. Some interesting information there. All right. I can understand some here and there, but it's ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, it's all prediction markets now, all the time. Like, you know, and in AI betting and just, I don't know. It's like, when do we actually see people be people? Like, do you want to watch two people play chess? Or do you want to watch two AI bots play chess? Sam, if you take a look at BTC on MBT, the 8-hour looks like a beautiful bear pennant with downside to 50K prices. Yeah, I've been saying that for a long time, man. I think you know, I'm pretty sure I've gone over this many times. Yeah, I see a bear pennant. I just said it. The 8-hour and the daily are the same thing, man. Like, right? I mean, not the same thing, but you know what I mean? Yeah, and I just keep saying this is what I see. And I see the flag down to about, 55,000. I'm saying this is what's likely going to happen. That's why, like, a smart person, you don't go in a heavy long unless you get above 71.5. You could take a shot at this Adam and Eve double bottom on the 4-hour time frame, but we don't, you know, it hasn't, I feel like it already kind of played out and did us dirty there. You say, oh no, it's a bigger rounded, maybe. Wouldn't be surprised if we roll over, bro, and right now it could start here on the 15-minute time frame with these cat ears. And it looks more like a descending triangle to me too. Yeah. Check out 2026 robots compared to 2025 at the Chinese Lunar New Year show. The evolution of robots is 1,000x in a year. It's so crazy. Well, now we have AI to do computation, testing, and we don't have to sit there and figure that out. We just have to come back and review. Our mind just has to kind of be the co-pilot or the pilot and you know, we can use AI to continue to move forward. You can make anything you want, right? You can do it. You can market. You can move. You can create your own board. You can have a CEO on the board. They can go over all the stuff, go back and forth to each other. You can make 10 people and they talk and they go over each idea. Then they ask which idea is the best. Then they merge the ideas together, come back to you. Let the AIs talk together. It's nuts what can happen right now. I'm thinking of making an AI live stream on my other channel just because, like, so much, I've learned so much about AI in the last few days. And, like, it's really, like, it's crazy what you, as one person in your room, you can do so much now. It's absolutely insane. One person in a room, you can do so much. All right. Here's the passage from Timothy. Okay. But mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, non-lovers of the good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power, have nothing to do with such people. This is known as the last day perilous time shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heavy, high-minded. Yeah, Instagram now, men are like putting on like cologne, getting their shoes ready, you know what I mean? Putting on like different pairs of pants, having like 17 watches. I get it, you can have a watch collection, but you know what I mean? It's like, but flaunting it and acting like you get it in the morning and just, I don't know. I bought one watch, I hope it doesn't think, you know what I mean? Only because it should go up in value, and I had fiat lying around. Like, it wasn't more like, and I hope no one sees me that way. I hope you know, every day I mention God, I put God first in this channel, and I know without God I have nothing, like absolutely nothing. Everything will leave in my life if I don't put God first. If I put God first, I say I'm thankful for everything. I take it one step, one day at a time. I'm able to maintain. I'm able to move. I'm able to see my future with clarity and love and support, and it just works. So we have to be the light. When kindness and love becomes a strange behavior to most, you know we are getting close. Wow, have things changed? It's crazy, right? Use Grok to learn how to invest in mining companies. Yeah, you could just do that right there. Absolute mode. Yeah, there you go. I don't use words. Amen. God bless you. Words are spells. Amen. I see what you're saying. Maybe they are. You don't. I mean, you might. Yeah. Words are spells. You're right. What do you think of selling one of my kitties to buy Bitcoin now and then buying a new one in 5 years? I mean, you do whatever makes you happy. That's a medical decision. Yeah, I would never be able to comment on that. You never know. I would never. You know what I mean? Shout out to Jimmy and Irene Francis. God bless them for your lifer. For you, lifer. Could you take a look at Mara? Oh, Mara, man. Wow. God bless you, Sam. Always love to hear about your mom. My mom sounds just like her, and I miss her every day. Life is short. Gotta love your parents. Amen. God bless you. Light music. Thank you. You got a Jim Rohn for us. It's funny. Jim Rohn quotes. Hey, Lois, I think I'm gonna grow a beard. Hey, Chris, go to your room. I'm from Quahog. My name's Peter Griffin. That's right. Funny. No, I don't know. You know, it's funny. You think I could do a Jim Rohn? I listen to him all the time. I gotta like really encapsulate a voice somehow. It's like weird. It doesn't always go. I can't explain it. I look at the 30-minute right now. It looks like it's in a head and shoulder pattern that wants to dump on you. I want to on you. Remember that? I want to on you. So this looks like it's gonna go lower. Yeah, I see 65.5. Looks like we're going to roll over. We might roll over today, folks. So right now, I'm telling you, it looks dumpy. More than pumpy. If I had to say anything about the price of Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Mara. On the NASDAQ. Wow, back to $7. What a piece of garbage, man. I mean, whatever. I got in here. We did 4X it twice. So if you took my call, you did a 4X. But man. These mining companies are just weak sauce, bro. I don't even want to look at it anymore. I mean, it's touching a higher low. Cup and handle. Could it bounce? This stock is just wah, wah, wah. Let's take a look at how NVIDIA is holding up. You know what? I look at NVIDIA because so many people use it and it has a use case. I could see it still kind of maintaining and going up. When I look at it now, it's very tight inside the range. This is pretty cool for NVIDIA, right? So, and it carries the NASDAQ and the S&P. And if they're going to put a bunch of money and print a bunch of money, people are going to buy NVIDIA stock with that money. If you get free access to money through a loan that has smaller interest rates, you're going to, and there's ETFs that buy this. So a lot of people can get it in. So there you have it. So yeah, I mean, the video looks interesting to me. For sure. Okay. And it looks like it could go, I don't know. There's kind of a shoulder, head, shoulder there. There's some risk because it's been so poppy, but compared to the rest of the market, it looks strong. And the fact that it would have dumped stronger by now. So overall thesis for me, the Fear and Greed Index is the lowest it's ever been. I have to buy Bitcoin for long term. So I'm long-term bullish on entering the Bitcoin market right now. That's me. If you're, you know what I mean? Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but that's just me. And I'll say that every day. Do I see lower? Yes, we could go down somewhere between 30 and 55,000 in my humble opinion. And I'm open-minded to that and I can handle it. And if it happens, it is what it is. I'll accumulate more Bitcoin. So that's my bigger stance for Bitcoin. As far as the smaller time frames go, it's hard to play exactly what's going to happen. Right now, it looks like a head and shoulder on the 30-minute is going to take us down to 65.5. And once you kind of really lose this trend line, you're either making a massive double bottom or the bear flag is starting to take over and take the dump to the downside, which to me is more likely. And that target is here. So it's more likely we go to 55,000 in the next, week or two. And it's more likely that we're closer to the bottom than the top on the bigger time frame. But that's kind of where I sit with Bitcoin, right? So in case you had any, like, you were confused or, I went over a few things back and forth, just want to break it down for you. Okay, Superform is the most popular trending coin right now, up 11%, very small market cap at 4.6 million. Very new. Espresso, Warden, and Nisha. These are new coins that have been moving recently. Zama, Mind Network, AFHE, yeah, that has that, maybe the fully homomorphic encryption. That's what was the new tech, remember? And that was going to be big. And I had that in AI, and we knew it was going to be pretty big. The Mind Network, FHE. See, fully homomorphic encryption. See, fully homomorphic encryption. I knew FHEC, and that's a layer of AI and proof of stake networks. It accepts restaking tokens. I like this idea. See, this is something this was the narrative that was supposed to kick off about 18 months ago. And it didn't even pick up. Like, no one was even really, Chasse, a few other people were really onto it. And I could sniff that it was hot. Oh, also in January, this thing ripped up from 4 to 30 cents, and now it's just rug pull, basically. Sounds like a great idea. This also kind of has, like, I don't know, descending triangle vibes for me. I wouldn't be surprised. So I keep seeing more downside for Bitcoin the more I try to envision, maybe a double bottom. There's a chance that it bottoms here, but it doesn't look amazing. And right now we're looking for these dumps here. And I don't see why we don't. It looks like it's about to happen anytime. More liquidity to the downside and then to the upside here on Bookmap 2 suggests it will pull us down to 66, maybe to 65K. You see it? What is Bookmap? It's a liquidity map. It shows you a heat map order book where all the orders are for Bitcoin. And just kind of shows you where things are in general. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you so much for the love. It was an awesome live. You people are amazing. I'm blessed to see each and every one of you every single day, and I'm happy to be here. Let's take a look at the DXY and see what it's doing. It'd be kind of one of the last things that we take a look at. So the DXY double top, but then pumped. So if you look at it, I mean, it looks like it's breaking out of a ascending triangle in the last hour. So it had the pullback, and now it's on a mission again. The DXY looks bullish right now, like it wants to break out. I mean, it has pumped with Bitcoin. It doesn't have to dump, but so it looks like the DXY is on a vengeance here, and it looks like it's going to pump back up to 97. That could affect the stock market and Bitcoin as well. You don't want to see the DXY pumping like that hard. And I see cat ears for Bitcoin that are likely going to break down. Your target somewhere there at 66,250. All right. So yeah, I'm bearish on the day now after everything that happened today on the show. If the 1 hour can close a green candle next to a red one, I'll flip long. I might wait for it to close too, though. So at 2 hours, this candle closes in 2 minutes. So in an hour and 2 minutes, I'll get a 1 hour candle to close, and it'll give me some direction. I'll get some confidence from that or confirmation. But right now, bearishness until further notice. Stay tuned in the trading group. I'll keep you updated as to what's going down and what I see happening. All right. Shout out to everybody here in the group. Let me take a look at the last chats here. Shout out to all the super chats. We love you. We appreciate you didn't have to give, but you did. That will come back to you tenfold. Absolutely lovely and amazing. Remember, keep God on your side. Always stay positive. Always believe that something big is going to happen. Always stay completely positive every single day. And again, nothing big has to happen every day. But just keep believing that your life will change in a positive way. Things are coming around the corner that you've never thought possible. Right? I didn't know I was going to be on Fox News the other day, and it happened out of nowhere. Anything can happen. Just always believe. Always keep yourself in the opportunity state, because if you're in the opportunity state, the universe will deliver opportunity. The universe is only going to deliver opportunity to the people that believe they deserve it and are looking for it. You know? So you got to be the ones that are putting out that frequency to attract that frequency. Agree? Create your reality through what you think. It's very important that you're creating your reality through what you think. Catch yourself at negative thoughts. Catch yourself when you're not being positive and say, no, I can't go there. I got to stay positive here. I got to use this position to stay positive. Okay? So important. So important. You're in charge. In trading, this is huge. In life, this is big. And everything, this is how it is. All right? Bitcoin bullish preparation. Yeah. Nobody cares about the FOC minutes, man. Yeah, nobody cares. Yeah, they don't matter. Like, we've gone through these. It's when Jerome Powell talks after a meeting. FOMC minutes are just that. Yeah, if you really think they don't matter. Love the streams and the updates. Stay blessed, everyone. God bless you. Thank you so much for the beautiful people here on the live. You're absolutely amazing, and we love you, and we really appreciate the constant viewership. You guys are putting this stream on the map no matter what's happening. People are paying attention, so I'm so appreciative, and I'm so grateful. And we're back at 67.1. We'll see what happens. Remember, today we saw the model play out. You saw it get away from the 21. You take advantage of the move. That's it. That's all that matters. And it was a Wednesday. If we get that once a week, we're blessed. You know what I mean? So, trade less, make more. Stay focused. I love you. Remember, the secret to success is getting started. What are you going to start today that's going to make you amazing? You're not going to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. I love you all. Thank you.